Hey guys, it's Night Fox. I'm just making kind of like a random video today. I put in my 2 weeks at my job today, which is like a huge thing because I've been having a lot of anxiety about like putting in, my 2 week notice. But I finally did it today, and I feel bad because it's like restaurants are always going to be short. It's not really your problem. And their management like isn't that good, so it's like, whatever, but I feel bad about it regardless. I honestly don't really know if I would go back into food either, because it's just like, I don't know if it's really the right thing for me. But yeah, anyways, I did get offered like a job, like a feel-good job, but it pays like not that good, so I kind of have to think like, okay, I need money to like survive. So what's more important, money or my mental health, or like happiness, really, at a job that makes me happy? I don't know, because it's like I do need money to survive and pay for my stuff and whatever. But yeah, I feel like I'm dressed up like a teacher, but honestly, I feel like whenever I dress up, I like really just want to like dress up as a teacher, like, if that makes sense. Like, instead of girls wearing like whatever thing that they do, like, would rather, wear a long skirt and tank top, whatever. That kind of like teacher aesthetic. I don't know. Teacher is just calling for me. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really do need to shadow though, before anything, before like going back to school, which like I plan on like furthering my education. But yeah. I was having a conversation with my brother yesterday too, and it was kind of funny. This video is gonna be so random, like I feel like all over the place, but I was talking with my brother and I was like, I don't know how you extroverts do that. Like, you guys can just keep going, and like I don't get how you guys like function like that. And he's just like, well, we want to entertain and like make people laugh. And I was like, what? Like, I don't feel that way at all. Like, I feel like I'll say stuff that makes me laugh, and then it like makes other people laugh. But like, to just like have that sole purpose of just making people laugh, like, oh my god. I really do appreciate like ENFP's energy though. Like, in general, like every ENFP I've met, I have really appreciated their energy. And I've met like really a plethora of like ENFPs, like unhealthy ENFPs and healthy ENFPs. And I do have to say, I mean, any type, I feel like any type I come across, like, I'm always going to prefer the healthy one over the unhealthy one, for obvious reasons. But healthy ENFPs bring a lot to the table and like really do make me happy. So shout out to ENFPs for being cool, and I don't know, appreciate you. I appreciate my brother. My brother, I don't know. My brother's a very unique person because like he makes me laugh, and also he makes me laugh, and very knowledgeable, very insightful, really knows how to string along words together, and if not craft my ideas that I form. Like, so I might get an idea and I like can't form it all the way, and then it's like he literally can like finish the sentence, or like he can literally finish the vision, which I think is like honestly really, really cool. So I love having ENFPs in my life. But yeah, my brother's also moving out soon, so pretty soon I'm gonna be living all alone, which is kind of sad, which is like kind of why I'm glad I'm getting like a rabbit to just kind of like keep me company. And I feel like it would like also help my mental health just to like take care of something too. So yeah, I've actually been very interested in I don't know, kind of like farm stuff, farm jobs, and it's like funny because it's like I never would have really thought about things like that when I was younger, or even like recently I wouldn't have thought about that, but recently I was just like, man, like owning a farm would be so cool. Like it just seems like paradise all the time, especially if you live somewhere nice. It just seems like really, really cool. I was actually talking to my boss about that. My boss was saying eventually he wanted to like own a plot of land and start a farm and, you know, have his own like little thing going. Just like, oh, that's so cool. Goals. But yeah, I don't know. What else? Putting my 2 in today. I feel like people kind of like treat you differently when you put in your 2. You know what I mean? Like you'll walk into work and the mood is different. And it's like, oh, like they're leaving. I don't know. Kind of stupid, but I kind of felt that vibe. It was kind of like, this is kind of weird. I don't know if people know I'm putting in my 2 or not, but I feel like I'm making the right decision because, like, I don't really have to justify, like, why I'm leaving, you know, because I could just quit for no fucking reason, too. But I just know my hours are all over the place. They're not long, and they take up pretty much my whole entire day. And sometimes the pay's good, sometimes the pay's bad. And honestly, I just don't like it. And what else? There's this person driving very slowly, and it's like, I don't know what they're doing outside. It's freaking me out. Anyways, my hair is very curly. I've actually stopped doing my hair, and I just let it do whatever it wants, and it's just like this now. And I've been trying to appreciate like my natural beauty, because I've always feel like I've wanted to look like, you know, I feel like I've always wanted to just like not look like myself. Like I've wanted straight hair, you know what I mean? And just like sometimes like I wonder, like, you know, why do I look like a minority? Like, why, you know? But I think it's actually better to just embrace who you are, because there's so many other people who are like literally all the same, and that's just like what makes you, you know, more beautiful. And I've been like trying to just really embrace that. And I feel like people actually like notice, and I've been noticing like people like do make comments like, and are like, oh wow, your hair's so pretty, your blah 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 is so pretty. And it's because like you feel pretty, you know? That's the reason why. And it makes me feel really good, because it's like, it's just kind of like a mirror effect. you know, and it makes me feel more beautiful than I used to feel. So yeah. What else? I don't really have a lot to say today. I have a lot to do, like usual. A lot of chores, a lot of stuff on my list I need to do. Research. Need to look into a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I was talking to my boss today, and he was like, it's just really sad, like what he was saying with COVID and stuff. Like obviously there's people who need the COVID money, but also there's people who don't, you know what I mean? And there's so many people getting the COVID checks that it's like they don't really even check. So it's like basically free money. And like, you know, my boss was saying like COVID was like probably the main reason why there's so many job offerings right now, because like people are just getting basically handed free money, which like when he said it that way I was just kind of like, oh, like yeah, you're kind of right. But yeah, I don't know. It's really hard trying to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. And then it's like, my life is already 1/4 of the way over. Maybe even 2/3. I honestly have no idea. Which is like, sad, honestly. Because it's like, is this how I want to spend my life? Like, confused and trying to figure out what to do? No. I feel like I'm so picky. Like, it has to be like the best decision. Otherwise I just don't want it, and it freaks me out, and I feel pressured, and I feel, I don't know, just not well. So yeah, it's very time consuming trying to figure it out, and I, you know, have documents and stuff that I'm working on, trying to figure out like where I want to live, like how my life is like gonna look, stuff like that. I really appreciate people also who are really well organized like that and very like futuristic. I met this person at my Bible study. Like, I've known of her, but I've never actually like have talked to her. And like, I started talking to her, and she gave me her Myers-Briggs because I guess she's like taken it in the past. And it's so interesting because she told me she was a ESTP. You'll see how this connects in the conversation in a second, but we were talking about like, you know, introverted intuition and, you know, stuff like that, and just like intuitives in general. And it's just so shocking how she was just like, wow, like I don't understand you. Like, and she literally said that like out loud, and like I'm just like, you don't ever think of the future, you don't ever think of ideas and all this different stuff. And she's just like, no. I thought it was really interesting because, you know, I always kind of think like, oh, like everyone thinks like me. Like, I'm sure everyone has thought these thoughts that I have, right? And it's like stuff like that literally just shows me otherwise. Like, no. I guess not. So yeah, I definitely do think there's not enough research on the Myers-Briggs. And I was actually talking with like one of my coworkers who's like going to be a psychologist about this. We've talked about it and like our feelings and stuff like that, because like all personality tests are like kind of like bullshit, and especially if like you're not being honest with yourself, then it's like super bullshit. But yeah, it's just really interesting because of like self-fulfilling prophecy and like people fulfilling roles and stuff like that. I don't know. So in a sense, it's like, it is factual, like because of those reasons. But it's like, is it because of like your test results or because you read it somewhere? Like, you know what I mean? So bottom line, just be yourself. F what everyone says. Like, what people say, it does not matter, okay? Just do you. But I do think like basic core things like we can have in common, but when it comes to like little things, it's like, I I don't really think so. I think that is just a generalization. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really nice day outside. I really prefer warm weather over cold weather. I don't know if I've explained this in the past or not, but I definitely have like seasonal depression, and being in the sun definitely does make me feel better, you know, no matter like what it is, whether it's like, you know, just hiking or leisure activity or whatever. Being in the sun does make me feel a lot better. So it's kind of like, in a sense, I'm kind of planning out like, okay, where do I want to move and stuff? Where do I want to go? I definitely have always felt like, I live in Ohio, and I've always kind of felt like, okay, I don't belong here. I don't know. Like, just like, I traveled out west, like, I think in 2017, and I finally got to see like other communities and meet other people, and it was just like a completely different atmosphere. Like, I truly really do think like it does matter like where you live. And I even like look up like test results in like other states and countries and stuff, and I like to observe like the way that they think, or the way that they think that they think, you know. And there is a difference. There is a difference in the people. That's why I'm saying, like, there isn't enough research on Myers-Briggs. We need more psychologists out here doing more tests, you know? But yeah. Anyways. Also, I think it's weird how, like, the Big Five can connect to Myers-Briggs. Like, it can kind of predict types, which is, like, you know, just the same thing based off of people's answers, but I don't know. I think the Myers-Briggs has like really helped me figure out my problems more specifically with like things I struggle with, and like how to like overcome certain things. I don't know. I could list like the pros and cons of Myers-Briggs for like 5 days probably, but this video is getting kind of long. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Just kind of wanted to talk, give an update, and just say, you know, hello, and that I am pretty busy trying to figure out my life, job, career, selling a bunch of stuff, doing a bunch of stuff, and trying to prioritize time for myself. And I really want to suggest that for INFJs too. Oh yeah, there was another thing I wanted to mention for INFJs too. And I think that was, what was it? I'm trying to remember. Give yourself time, and also learn to let go. I think those are like the most two important things, because I'm gonna switch over into like a Christian perspective, Christian/man, I guess, but letting go is so important for your spirit to not hinder you. And also, sometimes you really do have to give things to God, because sometimes things are holding you back and they're not for you to carry. You don't have to carry everything for everyone all the time, because at the end of the day, like, God is the hero. Like, God is going to come through. So it's like, I've definitely been in that position of like, everything's up to me, and like, I have the answers, and you know, these people don't, and blah blah blah, you know. And in some cases, like, it does become very obvious to me, you know, based off of like conversations and like what people provide me, like how much that they really know, right? But honestly, at the end of the day, you just gotta learn to let go and realize you can't save everyone, and sometimes people don't want to be saved. Sometimes people just, they're drowning and they like it, and you just gotta learn to let go. I don't know. This is just stuff I wish I would have heard like 5 or 6 years ago. Prioritize yourself and your dreams and what you want, and focus on your happiness and well-being, not everyone else's. And I'm just learning this now. Like, being 20-something years old now, I'm just finally learning this now. That people will let you down and disappoint you. And no matter how much of hours and hours of work you put in to try to help people and help people succeed and achieve their dreams and everything, sometimes it's just not enough. And sometimes people don't care, really, So, I know I've definitely have done that with certain people who ended up leaving my life anyways. Whether it was because of something they did or their true character showing or whatever, and it sucks because, I wish I could have, gotten, I don't know. It feels good, seeing, real life change and seeing, your words, affected that person so much. I know definitely, I've hit people like that a couple of times in my life, and some of my words really did change people. But at the end of the day, it's we live through experiences, and they're just gonna have to experience it on their own. My therapist told me one time, you are robbing people of what they need to do. So it's I get INFJs, I guess depending on the INFJ, but in general, want to help, want to be helpful, but also not helping can be helpful, and it's just learning to let go. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely hard. It's not easy, but it's going to be a painful process, to reach that level of happiness, And also, I guess another random piece I want to throw in there is consider the fact that you don't have all the answers. Stop going off of your introverted intuition and just start being more in the real world, and start looking at real factual things, evidence, articles. You can't base everything based off of how you feel. It just things don't work like that, You have to look at the evidence. You have to look at what's out there. Because otherwise, it's you might not have the answer. I was watching this INFJ video, and being a Christian and seeing the proof that I've seen in my life, I understand what I really need, I feel It's been very apparent for me. And it's sad watching certain channels, not just INFJs, plethora of people, but specifically INFJs, they're just so dead set, this is what you need, and this is what you need to do. And in a Christian perspective, I was just thinking, that is just so wrong. That is just so worldly. That is, not what they need to do. And it's you can't just tell people that, because, that's pretty effed up, just being you're wrong, and everything you know is wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Consider the fact that you're wrong, and you don't know everything, okay? It takes a long time to get there, and I feel INFJs, they get really hot-headed, and they can get stirred up because they've festered this introverted intuition for so long, and they've been thinking about this thing for so long, and to, you know, even have thoughts like these. But it's like, seriously, like, take a step outside of yourself and look at other sources. And, you know, it's sad because it's like, at the end of the day, sometimes I'm just thinking, like, if God is real, okay, if Jesus is real, then eternal salvation literally is the most important thing. Because what is 100 years, okay, maybe to, like, eternity. It's everything, you know? Like, that's your life. Eternal life. And not to mention how scary hell sounds if it's real, okay? Like, that sounds horrible. You know, and I could get into a thing about that, and, you know, how I feel about that, and whatever, and what the Bible says about that, but, like, I used to not understand, like, why are Christians so weird? Why are they so, like, trying to tell me about this? Why are they, you know, whatever. And at a point in time, I was, like, literally that Christian who was like, I just want to save you because you're going to hell. And, like, it's just sad because it's like, you gotta learn to let go. You gotta realize some people don't want to be saved. Some people do not care. Some people don't care about the truth. And, like, that's okay. That's their problem. It's not your problem. You know? It's sad because it's like, we've seen the window and we know what the life looks like, and we know, like, how much better it is, and we look at, like, this person and, like, their ways and what they're doing and their life and how sad it is, and it's like, you know, we fester up these, like, imaginative ideas, scenarios, you know, but the truth is like, you gotta learn to let go. But I get it, you know what I mean? Like, I get why it's so hard for Christians. Because they are so dead set that this is the truth, this is the way it is. And I don't know if it's necessarily, like, them wanting to be right about everything, or them genuinely, like, wanting to save souls. Because I feel like if it really was genuine, they would be more genuine about it, you know? Because it is a very touchy thing, you know, if it's true, which, you know, from my knowledge, is based off of the things I've been through, the things that could have only been proven biblically, you know, etc., proof of God, Jesus, historical figures, blah 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 blah. INFJs, I feel like, you know, they want to be so in control. They want to be so right all the time. But seriously, just consider the fact, okay, that you're wrong. And learn to let go. Because you might have, like, an idea about something, you know what I mean? You might be like, this is right, and that's blah blah blah. But, like, I don't know, I feel like people, like, get so led by, like, these feelings and this thing that, like, they kind of don't see, like, the big picture. Like, they need other parts in order to, like, see, you know, the main thing here. So I just want to suggest that. And, you know, I don't know, I guess that's all I wanted to say today. So yeah, guys, alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.